Hey guys, what's going on? So, the update 21.0 just dropped, and the one thing that I was probably the most excited for, and I know everybody would have thought that I would have said Night Statue. Night Statue's talents are kind of okay. The Crystal Mancer got talents, and that's super exciting as well. And a lot of changes, a lot of different things, but the thing that I was the most excited for, that I decided to upgrade Monk to a level 11, because I was pretty sure that Monk at level 11 with a mermaid would be really good. I was pretty sure that it would be really, really good post-patch. Equilibrium used to be a talent that just nobody used because Blessing was just far easier to use, and it was just nobody used it. And then everybody used to use Tranquility, obviously because of the cleanse, but more importantly because of the shield. And the shield with the cleanse just allowed you to go through like double bosses, triple bosses. You were protected the entire time from everything. You couldn't get tribunaled or warlocked or Dark Priested or anything. And the only thing that would kill you eventually was if you really couldn't, like if you really started to struggle in damage on bosses, and then the cleanse would wear off. The cleanse and the shield would wear off, and then you would just get like late game bedlammed. That's how you eventually lost. And nobody used Illumination, which is the level up mechanic every time you use the Monk power up, and because of the shield and the cleanse. When they took away the shield, people still use Tranquility for the cleanse, but now that Mermaid is out, Mermaid is just a much better hero, because what you're essentially trying to do is full board Monk. It's the main reason for its existence. It is a Monk. Like the Monk deck is to full board a Monk. If you have less than a full board, you're doing a suboptimal job. Before, I think you could have made the case for 2 or 3 Ts, and then you just run Blessing. I think that was like an idea, but currently, and the reason why I'm the most excited about this, it's because of Equilibrium, the change to Equilibrium, and then Illumination with the combination of Mermaid as your cleansing, shielding, protecting thing. Equilibrium got changed to where every single time a intersection Monk gets an Equilibrium orb, it automatically gives you the bonus. So every Equilibrium stack is plus 3%, and after 30, it reduces to 1%. Everything after that. So 31, you're getting 1%. 32, you're getting 1%. But anything before that, you're getting plus 3%. And so essentially, what you're trying to do is you're trying to full board a Monk, so that every time Equilibrium pops up, your entire board is an intersection Monk, and you're automatically just getting bonuses every single time it pops up, which is in intervals. And then the other problem with full boarding a Monk was that you couldn't, outside of co-op, you couldn't level up your cards, right? Illumination allows you to level up every single time you use Monk power up. The reason why this got me so excited was because there was another change, and originally you could only use your Monk power up every 30 seconds. That has now been changed to 20 seconds. Also, the other problem with Monk originally was that it did great burst damage, but it didn't do AoE damage. So if you were overwhelmed by a whole bunch of creatures, you could burst down the first couple of them if you used the Monk power up, and then you would just die to the rest of them. Now, you basically can clear an entire wave, very similar to like a vortex on a Blade Dancer. So not only are you getting area damage, but you're also gaining Equilibrium damage. So you're just getting constant stacks the whole game. And then the only other problem that you would need to fix is the fact that it can't cleanse. Because if you're full boarding a Monk, you can't run things that cleanse, or units that cleanse. You can't just rely on like equipping a Dryad or using a Proving Look on on an enchant sword, especially now that Awakening is gone. And so the whole way that you build this is because of Mermaid. Mermaid makes this entire deck possible. It's obviously above level 5 Mermaid, which is another reason why I struggled to get level 5 Mermaid. It was specifically so that I could run this deck. I'm gonna play a co-op. I'm gonna play something a little bit lower than like a 13, just so that I can show you how this deck works and how Monk works in general. My cards are going to be Harlequin, Summoner with a level 9 talent, so that you can use Enhanced Summoning. Sometimes you get to a board state where when you summon in, you're usually left with like one spot on the field that you need to change into a monk. And that is where it gets difficult, when everything else is a monk and you have that one spot left. And then if you summon in a summoner, if you don't have the level 9, then you have to merge out something else so that you can get rid of the summoner. With Enhanced Summoning, you can use the mana power up on summoner, and it'll automatically change to any one of your other units. If it changes to a Dryad, you can upgrade a monk and then try again. If it changes to a Harlequin, you can copy a level 1 monk, assuming that you still have one, which is another reason to always try to keep a level 1 monk on the field. If it changes to a Mime, the Mime is your only really big problem. And what you try to do during the game is use Mimes on themselves. I know it's counterproductive. It seems counterintuitive. But if you use Mimes on themselves, you can use them on Summoners. But if you use them on themselves to get rid of them, it's just a dead card. It's a card that I don't know what to put in that slot to make the deck better, and it's a card that has the ability to merge with anything, because you could argue that you could put an enchant sword in, because if you're just merging it with themselves, then why don't you use an enchant sword? But the problem with enchant sword is, let's say you get to that board state where you only have the one spot and you summon in a Mime, you can still use the Mime on another level 1 and just keep rolling. And then even if you get like a level 2 Mime, you can technically use that to merge a level 2, and again, you can just keep rolling. If you have an enchant sword, right, as your last spot, and you merge out to let's say best case scenario, you merge out 2 level 1 Mimes in order to give yourself room to like merge out that one enchant sword, and that becomes a level 2 enchant sword, and now you have a level 1 and a level 2 enchant sword. It just starts the problem of merging out to get the thing that you want starts to become very difficult. With a Mime, because you can merge it with anything, it becomes easier when you go into that problematic like last moment situation kind of deal. But I'm going to jump into a co-op game that's reasonably short. I don't know. I guess everything that's a 40 is pretty long, and then anything that's like a 5. You know what? I'm gonna try a round 4. I just don't want to do like 40 rounds, but I also do want to show you just how the deck plays, just in general. I'm going to assume that they're not going to run a Shaman deck, because if they do, I'm not really going to be able to necessarily show you the full power of this. But if they're just running some random anything deck, I'm going to be able to show you how good this deck is. And I wanted to try to pick a shorter thing so that I can show you what I really want to show you, which is a PvP game that I actually did. And I really lucked out. I'll spoil that right now. The last boss battle in my PvP match that went on for pretty long was a Bedlam, and both of us got Bedlam flipped, but then he took a point of damage before I did, and that's how I won. So it isn't a great case for how the deck wins, but I was also... Oh, this is a perfect deck. Okay. I'll go back into that after this battle. So with your enhanced summoning, you're also able to just auto-activate it in order to get another thing. I can actually, it has an equilibrium right now. It still works the same way, so if you use the mana power up to level it up, you'll get the equilibrium. And again, because you're getting double up, or because you're getting the monk power up every 20 seconds, feel free to use it all the time. With my dryads, because I have the Fairy of Rage, I'm also able to very early game. I'm gonna get rid of these mimes, and I am gonna merge them out with these. There we go. I'm gonna level this guy up again. With the Fairy of Rage Dryad, I'm able to early game use all of them in order to get some amount of extra damage. It's the easiest way to get damage. I'm going to use this again. I'm going to merge out the two mimes. I'm going to merge out these two mimes. I'm actually going to start copying the monks here. My mermaid is not this turn, obviously, because we got hero downed. This is burnout. This guy up here, I can give an equilibrium sack to, upgrade a unit with the monk power up. I'm gonna copy this guy. And again, just be aware of not copying too many, or not leveling up too many ones, because you are gonna want one of those ones to maybe Harlequin, once you get down to the last couple of monk spots. I'm gonna level up this now, level this up now. So I already have 10 stacks on my dryads. We're getting down to the wire here, so I'm actually gonna merge out these two mimes. Because I can enhance summoning this last one. I am going to 700 this last thing. Monk power up to level up a guy. I am technically waiting for one of these level 1s to get the equilibrium, so that I can super level it up with all of these, and then resummon it. I'm going to use the merge out the mime here. I'm actually going to copy these. This is a risk, only because we have surprise merges right now. But I think I'm gonna do it anyway. That actually worked out. Again, I'm trying to keep these level 1s. And then we full boarded monk. That was actually perfect. It doesn't work out that perfectly. And then in my next game, my PvP game, you'll see how not perfectly it can work out. And then sometimes your opponent can help you, and then it'll not work out. So essentially here, all you do is you press monk, and then you press mermaid, whenever one of them is not active, or whenever one of them is active. And that's it. If your opponent isn't affecting your board, this is how the best of it could work out. You have a full board of monk every single time, every 20 seconds, which is 3 times every minute. One of your units is leveling up. Your mermaid is protecting your entire field, and so you will eventually be able to stop everything. And then in order to obtain more damage, every single time, like that right there, you saw the equilibrium appear. You're getting equilibrium stacks as well, and you're just getting free stacks the whole game. There's another one that was 21. Level up your field. There's 22. It's insanity. They did change the level up mechanic to level up a random unit, and I believe that the reason why they did that was so that your board could get affected. They could technically shaman out these level 1s, or a red guy could appear and then knock out one of these level 1s, and then you'd be pretty screwed. You'd have to like do that whole entire risk again. The risk of like you would have to take that risk of summoning in. And I think that this is the most optimal way of playing this deck, specifically because you're trying to full board monk. Use as many dryads as you can. Like, even if you don't get to 20 stacks, it's not necessarily the end of the world. And if you do end up getting screwed over, like if a red guy decides to hit one of these guys, you should be able to recover. Or you should have enough monks on the field, just in general, being leveled up, that the rest of your monks will carry you. Because you don't need a full board monk to win. It just makes it a lot easier. I currently have 30 stacks. That means I have plus 90% damage. And then just constantly hit that monk button. That's how you're going to get these level 7s. Yeah. The worst matchup that could possibly happen is the matchup that I wanted to show you in my battle history. Again, I do win this, but it was very close. This guy he's not running the best things, but he is running the deck that is my least favorite thing to run against. He's running both Shaman and Harbinger of the Abyss, and Monsters of the Abyss. And so essentially what's going to happen here is not only is he shamaning me, but he has 3 cultists in the center. He'll eventually obtain 3 cultists in the center that at certain thresholds will also spawn monsters on my field that will also shaman me. And I have no way of protecting myself against either, in the sense that the effects will technically happen. Like, I don't have like a Portal Keeper, for example. I'm relying on Mermaid so heavily in this matchup, and Mermaid saves me a lot. I think I start to forget to use my Mermaid power, or my Dryad power-ups. So, never forget to use your Dryad power-ups, because late game you're not going to be able to use them, or use them well. I had so many Dryads, and that was worrying me, and that's why I start to forget. I want to keep summoning in to get more monks, because I definitely thought that... I didn't think I was going to die, but I knew that my board position wasn't great. Mermaid also takes away your Harlequin stacks, so you can always feel free to Harlequin any monk. There's a couple of pieces that are in this deck that are just almost absolutely necessary. I don't think Summoner is completely necessary at 9, but I do think that it's very good at 9. It makes it much easier. Because you want your only problem, you know, quote-unquote problem unit, to be the mime. The mime is the one thing that you just never like seeing. You basically like seeing anything else. A very subtle thing that I don't think gets enough credit for Mermaid. Mermaid is known for the cleanse, obviously the protection bubble and the cleanse, but also all of your protection bubbles, every time they pop, they're giving you 30 mana, and that never matters late game, but early game, you're getting so much mana from everything. And again, this is my worst matchup, like he's playing Trickster, so every time my bubbles pop, I'm giving him mana. Whenever he uses Trickster. But that's another way that he's also obtaining just giant quantities of mana to shaman me and do all the things that he's doing. So right here, I have this very awkward Harley Quinn, and I have no way of getting rid of it. I didn't leave myself a level 1. So now I actually have to hope that he either, 1, kills the Harley Quinn. Oh, I guess I didn't. I guess I just didn't care. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna actively do something. Right there, I combined the Mime with the Dryad as opposed to leveling anything up because I couldn't. Right there, I summoned in my last unit, which was Mime, and then he killed it. And it didn't have a bubble. Again, I'm in the same exact position. I can either wait for him to shaman down a unit, or, which actually happens right there. I can copy it and then full board Monk. This isn't the end of the game, though. Very specifically because he has the ability to affect me. And that is the least favorite thing. It's the most difficult thing about playing this deck. And I'm convinced that they decided to change the level up mechanic to random. It upgrades a random thing for this exact reason. Because if anybody messes with your board, specifically with like level 1s, because like, you know, like if my like level 4 got shaman down to like, you know, a 3, it's still fine. But it's the fact that you have all of these like very volatile level 1s that if that level 1 dies, you're forced to summon in again, and you can summon in a lot of, you know, just bad cards that you can't do anything with. Right here, he like shamans down my Dryad. I can't even use it, but that gives me another opportunity to summon in. I summon in a Mime. I'm stuck again. Again, it's not the end of the world, but it's just not something that you want to see. And most of the time, you just end up waiting for them to either do something or for a red guy to appear, or because you don't really want to merge out like the 2s, because then you're just having to replace even more things, especially if it becomes like a level 3 Mime. And so your best option is basically just to sit. And you just kind of have to hope. Right there, I can merge out these 2 1s. He also has a max cultist, and I have a level 11 monk. I didn't think that I should that I was gonna win. This was the first battle that I decided to play in 21.0. With Monk, because I just really wanted to try it, and I did not think that I was going to win this. I just wanted to see if it was really as good as I was assuming that it would be. With equilibrium stacks, with just everything that I've mentioned. I wanted to see if it was going to be as good as I would have thought. And it's pretty good. Like, I can only imagine like a full, like a level 15 Monk. Like a max version of this deck. I get shaman right there, which allows me to summon in. I summon in that. enhanced summoning allows me to change it into something else. I get the very lucky Harley Quinn, and then I'm able to Harley Quinn monk. But again, it happens again. At that point, I was just like, I'm just gonna merge this out. I also got an equilibrium stack from it. See, like that 5 going to a 4, that doesn't really bother you. It's the fact that everything is so volatile. And right there, I upgrade my last level 1 monk. And I'm forced to summon in again. I'm waiting for the summoner to be off cooldown. And then I get another roll. I can't even use the Dryad, and so again I'm stuck. But even then, this is where I thought I was gonna lose, and now you're gonna see the power of them adding AoE to the monk ability. Activate here, and then it just powers down through this entire wave. Because even though you're not full boarding monk right now, most of this board is a intersection monk. Mermaid activation again. So not only am I getting King Pudding cleanses, but I'm also getting bubbles in order to defend against the amount of like shamans that he's sending me. Which is a lot right here. Again, I thought I was gonna die. And then you're gonna see the power of this AoE again. Using it for the wave meant that I wasn't... right there, he took a hit, and that's the only thing that basically saved me. Because this is a second round double boss Bedlam. I definitely wasn't going to be able to kill it. I couldn't even kill this Kitsune. And then it summons in something... it summons in a Warlock. Both of us get Bedlammed. But because he took that point of damage before, I thought the Kitsune was going to help him right here, because it stops, but then he ends up dying to the Kitsune. I had a lot more crit on him, but he does have a max level cultist, and yeah, Monk is pretty good. That's all to say that if you have invested in Monk, you will be very well rewarded in this new patch.